Hello peeps, Struggle here, welcome back to another little tutorial of mine. Maybe you remember the always spinning thing I just did recently. I now wanted to do a automatic self reset of the clock whenever a sector gets loaded in. So I made this thing here and put it into my single player world because there the server basically gets shut down every time you leave the game, and the server gets restarted every time you start the game up again. And this way I could ensure that, let's get a HUD back, that this thing, like this is, that my last spinning clock was actually really turned off. Okay. So I thought about how to make it that when you reload the world, that it would start again, and I came up with this, little principle here. This works, as you can see, but while trying to set up the tutorial for you guys, I went well, how can I show that it works whenever there is a reset happening? And I tried the circuitry, or I tried with this circuitry to, kind of fake the server restarting. So halting the process. So instead of routing this back into this block, I just routed this into an AND, and let's quickly get into that structure just to show you what I came up with. So normally, this thing would wire into that thing, and whenever that cycle is finished, that thing would give a signal to that would turn on and give the signal back and tell it, well, you go another round. And that thing goes, yeah, okay, another round, and rinse and repeat, right? So what I did here then was, because whenever I logged in, this thing was in the off state. And then I made you normally feed into a delay, and the delay feeds into a NOT, and the NOT then gives you your initial signal to turn back on. This, as you can see, works, right? That thing keeps that thing on constantly because that's a half-second delay. So this is kind of a half-second, and this is another half-second, meaning that's constantly on. And whenever this is off for longer, it will trigger this NOT, and the NOT will restart the singing here. So this works, okay? But I wanted to explain why this works, how this works, and so I, thought about, we could take this thing and route it into an AND, and if the AND, the AND will only do, forward the signal if everything that's connected to the AND will be on high state as well. So that's on high, that's on high. So normally I could simulate a server shutdown and restart by pressing this button, because now this thing would be off. And then we route that thing into an activation block, because the activation block then needs to sit next to the rail and then gives the rail the thingy to you start next. And this thing is not connected to the rail, okay? So it has to go over the AND. Now, I did a lot of testing here, and this is basically our reset thingy, and now I was like, well, you need to route the thing into that, because I was wondering, first it was like this was routed in here, and that was routed back into the activation block. So whenever, for example, the server would really restart and I'm turning this off, so this AND does not get started anymore, normally I would just have used the button, but this never came on. And I wondered, is it just flipping on and off so quick that I can't see it? Because this thing was still on, and I wondered what keeps you on. Maybe, of course, the turning thing, but you are not getting your off signal. Or, yeah, huh? Hey. Like, why? And even though if you are on, why would that thing without a switch of state, you know, from off to on, still keep spinning? And then I figured out, well, this actually does not require the reset. If you put an activation module instead of a button next to that thing, and you wire that thing into the thingy, it just can stay on and it will keep that thing spinning. There is no explanation why this should work like this. I mean, normally the rail rotator block would need a signal to do stuff. This thing does not send a signal. It's constantly just on. And if I turn it off, it just gets back on. So, what? Like, why? Why does this do that? Well, anyway, looks like this is right now the actual simple solution to have a self-resetting, automatically restarting, spinning gimmicks thing. And yeah, I'm glad I found it. I mean, I did a little you know, tour here to get there, but and probably it's just a bug, because, you know, why should this work? It of course gets, whenever this thing, you know, has finished its 90-degree circle, it gets a pulse, right? But it is already on. So without it changing its state, why should it still trigger that thing? For some reason it does. So there you go. This is the simplest way to make spinny things and keep them spinning even when you reload your map and the game. So yeah, use an activation block instead of a button. That's it for this little video. Hope you could follow me around. If you got the explanation why this is working, like some serious explanation why, please leave it in the comments. I would be really interested in that. Besides that, just have fun with it, and you know, the Starmade gods hopefully might be able to clarify why this works. Kind of, you know, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's it. Please leave a like if you liked it. See you next time. Bye guys.